So the goal with this is just to do a little tank tour of the current setup before I make a whole bunch of changes. Tank is currently in my home office. It's going to stay in my home office. Which you can see, got those big windows right there pointing outside. So sorry for the reflection. Here's the tank. It's a 120 gallon mixed African Cichlid tank. It's about medium to low stocked right now. I'd like to at least double the number of fish that are in there. I think there's about 20 in there right now, but I'd love to get to closer to 35. So just to show, let me switch over to this side so you can just see a little bit more about the inside without the reflection too much. It's a custom background, 3D background that's styrofoam and Quikrete. After 6 years though, you can see all the way in the back how some of the green styrofoam has, or some of the concrete has come off. Official move. In lots of different places, like down there it's pretty bad, and over here it's pretty bad as well. When I set it up, I didn't do a good job on the seal, so over here there was a bit of a gap, and I've had to go through and put like some stuff, some of like the Brillo pad, not Brillo pad, but like some foam stuff to try and block these. I've had babies get back in there and fish get stuck and die. I've tried to fill it up with some of the substrate, but that didn't work out so well, as you can see. Plus I've got like this nasty, it's kind of all grown together and it really sucks. There's that. It's all got fake plants. There's also under gravel jets, which are having the power heads. You can see right there, and you can see this little nozzle right there. There's 6 of those in there. 3 off of that power head, 3 off of that power head in the back as well, and that just creates current pushing up in the tank to keep the water moving. You can kind of see like this plant over here is moving around a little bit thanks to that. Not sure if I'm going to get rid of those or not. Glass is in good shape, except for the seals on some of the corners not doing so hot. This one's not too bad. There's one spot down there that's very concerning. This side's not too bad. It's more over here where not only can you see some of the seal kind of pulling back there, but on this side it's in really, really bad shape. So I want to fix that up. Basically the idea is going to be to reseal it. I'm also going to rip out the 3D background and throw it out, and I'm just going to go with a solid black background. The canopy is a homegrown kind of thing. It's just a bunch of LED lights set up there. The strip that's not on is blue. They're all set up on timers, so blue goes at night, white during the day. That thing's pretty heavy, so I want to get rid of that and make things a little bit nicer. There are 2 canisters, so you can see there's one set right there of the supply and the return. There's another one back there that are all set up. I'll show you those in a minute. Another thing I want to fix is you see all the cables coming down there. There's 2 power cables, gray ones, the one on the left and the right, one on the left and the center are power cables. One is for a heater that you can kind of see poking out through the glass right there, and then there's another heater so you can see back there as well. Not a fan of how I have them set up, but I don't want to see the heaters. I think it looks ugly. And the other one is for that's for both the heaters, and then the clear tube there is just an air tube for the bubbles that have coming up just to aerate stuff. Another stuff I want to change in the tank, I think all that's done. I want to get rid of a lot of the rock, but I want to build it up higher, so I got to figure out a lightweight rock option, which I have some ideas. A couple of vendors I picked out. It's going to take some time to make sure that's what I want to do. It's going to be a little bit more money than I want to spend, but we'll see. But I want to get rid of a lot of the weight and maybe change out the substrate. So like now you can see I've got like that, kind of honeycomb stuff that's on the bottom to protect the glass from all the weight of the rock. And then these undergravel rocks you can see here. The other problem is undergravel jets. You can see there's the PVC tubing that I have under the rocks that are also blowing up the water to create the current. So from the maintenance side, that's a mess right there. The idea was to build a custom cabinet or canopy and have this thing set up in it. Where right now it's just got the timer it's got power for the lights, the power heads, the air, and the heaters. So I want to get all that hidden away. All of that will probably end up going into this piece down here, which does have access up into the tank. Can't really see it, but there is. There's a hole back there with some power that you can have back to the wall. But all that's going to get hidden away in some fashion. All the tubing though for the returns and supplies, they all come down here. They go under this green thing, which is not supported by those cabinets. There's actually reinforced steel and a beam that's like right about here. That's holding it together with a ton of plywood that's built up on, or sorry, ton of 2x4s that's built up on both sides into this wall, into that wall, that are all holding it up to hold up the tank. So over here though, this is my work area. So down there is where my cabinets are hidden away, storage for a bunch of fish stuff. And then up here, that's a bunch of storage as well. So I've got like a lot of my chemicals, spare filters and stuff up top, spare food, my water test kit, and then all the stuff that I use to clean the water and stuff, and a bunch of food. So the other bit I was going to show you was my cabinet down here. So this is the cleaning cabinet. So no sump. That thing, that manifold back there, is not in use. That was a start to build out to replumb everything. I want to get rid of a lot of this flexible tubing and go to hard PVC for everything. But anyway, didn't finish that. So we got 2 canisters in the back. Those are used to basically, those are the intakes and the supplies, or the returns and the supplies for the tank itself, to scrub the water and keep it nice and clean. And one of them is also hooked up. So this one here, that's coming from this canister right here, is actually coming in and it's feeding in this active pearls reactor, which is stripping out all the phosphates, or it's binding the phosphate in the tank to this biomaterial that's creating slime, and you can kind of see the slime being generated right there. And what that slime is then doing is I'm scrubbing the slime from the water in this canister. So water comes in from one of the canisters that's been cleaned, goes down it through the tube, and then up the sides of the pearls. So you can see the pearls tumbling over at a nice rate. And then the water comes out of the reactor, down into the canister, and then back through here, and then back up to the tank. The way I do my water changes, as you can see here, I've got this tube set up. Back that up a little bit. This tube set up right here. We've got a little quick release set up. So this is fresh water that I have here. This fresh water, you can see, this fresh water goes right back here. And this is split off, you can see back there, from the main cold water supply. So I just have to go through and open this guy up. And to do a quick release, of take this piece right here, and I usually swap it out with this one. That puts water back in. I take this one right here, take this quick release right here, this part on this side, and I will usually connect it right here so that the water coming out of the canister will just get pumped right down the drain for the sink right here. So I'm using the actual pump from the canister to actually pull water out of the tank. And then I got everything wired up here. I got a nice little battery backup up there, and little hockey puck LED lights up here for my workspace, and another one of these like manifold things for the power. So that's basically the current setup.